Hello, Year 8. It's really great to be able to talk to you today through this online assembly instead of just sending the usual weekly email just to check in. Today, I'd just like to go through some of the things that hopefully you've been enjoying with some of your time away from school, and also just to talk about some of the things that we've got to look forward to coming up as well. Recently, it's been the Easter holidays, and it's been an Easter holiday unlike any other. You might have had 2 weeks off from doing schoolwork, but you've not been able to go out and enjoy some of the things that you usually do during an Easter break. We've not been able to go and see family or friends, and most of you will have been stuck inside, perhaps in your gardens, and hopefully enjoying a little bit of the sunshine as we've had over the last couple of weeks. Perhaps your parents have been working as well over this break, so it's felt a little bit different to how we usually enjoy our Easter holiday. Hopefully, though, you've managed to enjoy some of your time and you've been able to find something different to do. Perhaps that might be enjoying some time with your family and your household, maybe playing a game, maybe learning a new skill. I've been enjoying spending some time with my family and helping my young son to start walk. Today would have been our first day back at school, following a week of residential for most of us in Year 8. Unfortunately, we've not been able to go on the residential this year, but we've rescheduled it to this September. I'm really looking forward to going on this trip. I'm quite disappointed, as much as you are, that we've not been able to go. I've been looking forward to spending extra time with you guys and looking forward to all of the activities that we're going to take part in, all the climbing and the water activities and the team building things. And I can't wait to be able to go on that in September. Many of you have probably had other holidays and other plans cancelled over the next few weeks and months. Maybe some of you plan to go away over Easter. Maybe some of you have already got plans for the summer holidays and you've had to rethink those a little bit as well. But it's really nice to have this booked in and to have this to look forward to for when we start in Year 9 in September. It's really great to be able to see all of the work that you guys have been doing through Microsoft Teams. I know we had this really short assembly just before the school closed back in March, where we talked about how we would use Teams to submit work and to communicate with your teachers. And so many of your teachers have said some really great things about all the work that you've been doing, that you've been getting it in on time and completing the tasks to a really great quality. Please continue to use this website as we go forwards over the next few weeks. Staff are still going to be setting you things to do, generally in the time that you would usually have had that lesson with them in that subject. And please do check the feedback that they're giving you as well. Staff are putting loads and loads of time into this every day, setting you interesting things to do and giving you really great feedback so that you can get as much out of this as possible, even though we're not sat in front of you. At the end of the day, guys, we need to be keeping up with our work as best as we can. If you're not doing anything, and then when we eventually get back to school, whenever that might be, you're going to find that you're behind. And that's not where we want to be. Just like anything in life, whether that's playing an instrument or learning a sport or any skill, really, you've got to keep practicing it. Otherwise, you're just going to get rubbish at it, unfortunately. And it's the same with our work as well. You've got to keep doing that physics work, doing that computing work, doing that maths work, just a little bit every day that's been set by your teachers, because then you're going to keep your practice up and you're going to find that you are going to be able to slide straight back into it when we get back into school. I've been thinking a lot about this recently and some of the positives that we can take out of this situation that we find ourselves in at the moment. I'm quite a big believer in things happening for a reason. And I know this seems like a really bad situation that the world is in at the moment, but there's always some good that can be found in the darkest of times. I tend to think that this situation that we are in, this season of life that we're in at the moment, is a time for us to reflect and a time for us to take stock of some of the things that are going on in our lives, and a time to spend perhaps learning a new skill or spending that extra time with your family. I think that's the real positive that we can take out of this situation at the moment. Are you making the most of your time that you've been given? I know you've been given lots of work to do by your staff, but in the evenings and in the mornings and in your break times and at weekends, and when we do have those bank holidays, are you making the most of this time that's been given to you? Perhaps you could do something different with your family that you wouldn't usually do. Perhaps pick up a board game or learn a new skill with them. Maybe you could spend some time teaching your little siblings to help them during this time. Maybe it could be baking something, or really just doing something that you wouldn't have always had time to do if we were travelling to and from school every day. To that effect, then, we want to set you lots and lots of things to do that are not just related to schoolwork. We're going to set you some challenges as a school through all of the year groups for the next few weeks. And here's some challenges for you to get your teeth into this week. None of this is going to be assessed. You're not going to submit it through Teams. But what we're trying to do is to really encourage you guys as students to get involved with something just a little bit more fun and something that you could perhaps do with your family as well. So there's 3 challenges here, and I've sent with the email that I've sent out today some instructions about how to do some of these things. I've particularly enjoyed seeing online people doing this t-shirt handstand challenge. This is where you try and put on a t-shirt while you're stood upside down against a wall, and it would be really, really impressive to see some of you being able to have a go at doing that. Perhaps you might want to have a go at some riddles, or maybe have a look at this chocolate squares recipe that was sent out as well. If you want to take part in some of these challenges, it'd be really great just to send me some images, or maybe a write-up or a little video of you doing some of these things. Perhaps you might want to, once you've made some of these recipes, you could perhaps send a photograph of what it is that you've made afterwards. I'd really love to see them, and so would the rest of the heads of year as well. Most of all, though, Year 8, I just hope that you're all safe and that your families are well and that you're keeping well too. It's very difficult, isn't it, to stay inside all of the time and to not have the freedom that we've come to be used to. But we will eventually be able to see each other again, and I look forward to that time. I'll talk to you next week.